So, hello everyone for the topic of equality. Now, a myth of equality, rather, I should say. So, before I get started, I would like to have some bit of interaction. You can type it out or you can talk, whatever works for you guys. Tell me, um, so how many of you, is there anyone who's ever felt unequal in any area of your life? Could be money, could be relationship, could be your siblings, could be family, anybody, one word. And one word ideally would be
I
yes,
have,
I
I
have.
have, I have felt it.
All of the
Yes.
areas always felt unequal. Yes,
Yep.
that, that.
I too.
So, and how many of you pretended that you're okay? Huh? It's okay, parents are like that, and secretly proving it to everyone that no, they're not wrong. It's okay. Equality is okay.
Always.
Yeah. So now I'll tell you what. Um, when parents have more than one child, do you really think they can be equal to everyone? They cannot be actually. You go to your school, and then you're doing the same thing, but your teacher is giving more importance to other kids or somebody else, but not you. Why? Because it's not about equality. It's not about how you're doing things, how you're doing it exactly the same way that people are doing it. So it's not, we're not looking at equality as everyone is being same. Equality is not that. Can men and women be equal? Ever? We're different. We're two different people. We have different way of looking at things. We have different way of doing things. We are just different,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So if we did not look at equality as everyone being the same, but as the freedom to be fully be you without any judgment, what would that look like? You look at it, nature is not biased, is it? Nature doesn't have any kind of judgment, right? Yet, when the sun rays fall on the earth, there are some places which get more and some places which get less. Is it that the sun is biased or unequal? Is no, trying to be unequal? No, right? आपको लगता है, right? I mean, in this case, if you look at your parents being sun and the moon or whatever, I mean, so if one is going to give you more nurturance, one is not going to give you, and sometimes both of them are not going to give you because if you could have a barren land like the Serbia or the desert or like Antarctica, you're not going to get anything. But does that mean nature is unkind and nature is unequal? No, it isn't. You may just start comparing yourself that मेरे भाई को मुझसे ज्यादा प्यार करते हैं, or maybe I'm a girl, or this is unequal, these are not good, my parents are not, they're doing partiality, right? So here in Access, what we talk about is equality is not about being similar or same. Sameness nahi hai. Where every being, every choice, every creation is valuable, and so are you. So, what questions can you ask that would expand your awareness and look at it from an angle that, oh, okay, interesting, this person is choosing this. You could be the chosen one, or your boss could choose you. But in your workplace also, you will try to compare that I'm better than this employee. It's not about who's better, who's not. It's just about who they get along with. It's just that what are they choosing in their life that uh, there's a frequency, there's a vibration that they're matching up with, right? What if you did not have to compare yourself with anyone ever again? You are you. You're different. But you would only compare. There's no voice like you. There is nobody like you. There's nobody who does things like you. So if somebody is a singer, they just sing and that there is no other voice like yours. But what we end up doing is we start comparing. There's no other facilitator like you. There's because your energy is your energy. And what if that is the difference that we're talking about? That's a gift that the world needs. So I have this one very sweet little student who keeps saying that her parents don't really like her. They like her elder sister who does this, who does that, blah, blah, blah. And that's not equality. And I'm like, hello, where have you seen equality exist on planet Earth? Where is the equal distribution of resources? It's about those who are willing to have it. Are you willing to receive that? Question is that. Ask and you shall receive. But you ask with so many points of view that you're definitely not going to receive, so you don't end up receiving because your point of view creates your reality. Are you ready to choose something different? Are you ready to be different? Are you ready wherever you're refusing to receive? And receive includes everything, by the way. Receiving means good, bad, ugly, everything coming your way and you having no point of view about it. So if somebody is giving me a lot of appreciation and then there are some people who will probably give me some criticism, I'll receive it both in the same way. But then you'll end up saying, "Oh, I'm so sensitive to this. How mean and how rude the other person is. How could they do this to me?" So what would change if you acknowledge that no one is greater or lesser, they're just different. And you're not good or bad. It's not about you being good or bad. How if somebody, a man or a woman, leaves a boyfriend or girlfriend, respectively, and goes to someone else, where have you decided that you have to judge yourself that you must not be good enough? That's why they've left you and they've gone somewhere else. And that's not true. I mean, it's just that probably they got done with you and they had to probably explore something else or someone else or they whatever the reason be, but that doesn't mean that you are any lesser than anyone else. So the beautiful tool that we forget using in such circumstances and situations is interesting point of view. Whenever you find others comparing you or you comparing you, just say interesting point of view at this point of view until the charge disappears, please. Because allowance is the only equality that we can talk about. It's about you being an allowance. Doesn't make you lesser. It's something like if my father says that, oh, your brothers are doctors and they're smarter or they're more intelligent. Interesting point of view, isn't it? Just because they could read 10 books more than I did doesn't make them more intelligent. But having said that, I can go fight my life for this to prove that I'm intelligent. And that proving takes a toll on me, my body, my resources, my finances, everything, and my relationship. Why would I want to prove that? That's his interesting point of view, and I cannot change it no matter I hang myself from the ceiling. And that won't change anybody's perspective. So if you think that your bosses are going to be equal to you, um, your spouse's family is going to be doing equality between Devrani, Jethani, or whatever, you know, you're up for a task, uphill task. It's not going to happen. Point is, can you receive that? Each one of you is different. How do you end up comparing apple and mangoes or banana and mangoes, whatever? Can you? Or you will even go to the extent of blueberries and mangoes. I mean, can you like? Are you getting where you are? So does that make blueberry better or worse? Because it's not as big as a mango. Does it? Is a horse better than a cow? Is it? Just because you like horses, maybe you may just say horse is better than a cow. But or cows better than horses? No, right? How do you compare? My question is that. You may look similar because you're a woman and then we're all women, so let's just start comparing. It doesn't ever work. And you're doing the same thing. We all go to school and we're doing the same thing, but somebody's getting more marks and you're not. Where's the question of equality? What equality are we talking about? Equal rights? Shove it up your ass. It doesn't work. That okay, we want equal rights. That's just a way of keeping people busy and engaged with something that is not going to show up. So okay, let's do a quick exercise. Okay, just close your eyes, everyone. Just close your eyes and soften your gaze. Don't tightly, don't have to close your eyes and shut your eyes like this. Just a gentle close. And imagine all of the people that you've ever compared yourself with. Could be in childhood, could be parents comparing you, could be your neighbors, could be your family or in-laws. If you're married, if you're not married, then your own family is good enough to compare you with people around you. Or you comparing yourself with other people. Bring them in front of you. Could be your colleagues, your bosses. And now drop all your judgments. Just acknowledge each one of them. You have your choices, and just tell them you have your choice and I have mine. As if you're telling them, तुम तुम्हारा रखो मैं मेरा रख रही हूँ. Just to add some humor to that. And let the energy equalize. Whatever the charge that you're carrying, and feel the peace when you no longer need to be better or worse than anyone. And let it all go. Let the energies withdraw, let the energies go back to them. You pull back your energies. Everywhere you're trying to prove how good you are and how they must like you and how they don't like you. And does it matter? Actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're hostile towards you. Okay. Some people just don't like you, and that's okay. Look at the animal kingdom. There are some animals who don't like other animals, and that's okay, right? What if you could find your tribe and change your vibe? And how many of you feel lighter after doing this? What if consciousness feels just the same? No hierarchy, no competition. Just make more space for yourself and expand out. All that heaviness. Like I remember my mother only used to compare me with my older brother, who was 18 years older than me. And I was like, okay, that's not done. That's not fair. But what if everything is fair? That's how it is. And what is it that you're here for? What do you desire? What would you like to create? You can open your eyes. What would you like to have from life? Or what is it that you would like to create? So you can ask questions like, what energy, space, consciousness, and choice can I be to honor everyone, including me? How much are you honoring you? Because when you don't honor you, people don't honor you. It's about you putting your foot down when it comes to, people can treat you the way they treat you. The minute you start comparing, you're watching TV and you start comparing yourself that, she's so nice because she's got a slim figure. That's why she can do it, she can flaunt it, but I cannot. The minute it comes with that, replace it with some curiosity, wow, how could, what is she doing? What could I do? What could I change? How could I have that? Catch your comparisons and let them go. And then you don't need to have that. Acknowledge, oh wow, I'm comparing again. Who am I being? Am I being my mom who compared me with everyone? Or am I being my dad who compared me with everyone? Or am I being my sister who compared me with everyone? And let it go. And then immediately in that moment, acknowledge your unique contribution that you are being. And that's where your equality with yourself begins. It's equality can never be with someone else because you're not them. You're different. So, anyone has a question? Because I've been talking and non-stop for the last 20 minutes. Anyone? Question? It'd be nice if you ask a question and it could be related, it could be unrelated. Nobody? You so done? You enjoy gift calls, don't you? What does openness mean? Okay, Dr. Pallavi. Openness means when you have no walls, no barriers, no filters, and you're just receiving what is coming your way without any judgment of it, without any expectation or projection of it. You're just absolute space. That you're being just open. Oh, sorry, openness. No, sorry, my bad. I am not able to read it. I'm so sorry. That's oneness. Sorry, I couldn't read it. Oneness. Oneness is when you're in allowance of everyone and everything. Oneness is that when you and the molecules around you, there is no difference at all. Oneness is where there is no judgment. And that comes with allowance, where you are not aligning and agreeing with anything. You're not resisting or reacting to anything. That's oneness. Where you're not putting yourself down to have other people and people please them, nor are you having um, others at a pedestal. It just you're just one with yourself, and oneness is communion. Communion has to be attained with yourself, not with people around you. So same कपड़े पहनने से uniformity नहीं आ जाती है, right? You're still different. What if we have constant thoughts of comparison? Yeah. So that's where, when the minute you acknowledge it, can you replace it with curiosity and then say, wow, what is that? Would I like to have it? Would I like to be that? And if so, then what can I choose and what am I refusing to be if I choose to be that? So someone who has a lot of money or someone who has a lot of style or a lot of energy, you just simply ask, what is it that they do? And it's about curiosity rather than saying, oh, they're so good and we can't do this. That's a judgment and that's a statement. That's like a conclusion that we can't do this. And again, how many people are you tapping into who are in a perpetual state of comparison? Dekho, when you're doing a job, Neha, you are out there and everyone is comparing and everyone is putting you down so that they can tell you why they have to reject you or they have to fire you from the job you're doing or whether they can appraise you or not. Have you ever seen a Kamali Bai working at home? A maid working at home, right? When she's not doing her job, what do we say? We're not going to give you money for this month. We all do that. We're in India, right? No, I mean, even if you're abroad and the lady is not doing the job, you're going to fire her, right? You have to give some reason why you're firing. Oh, I love you so much, I'm going to fire you. You don't do that. Do you do that? I don't like you. That's why I'm firing you. No, we don't do that. We're like, नहीं नहीं काम तो अच्छा करती है ना, so ठीक है. So we'll continue with that, right? But we're comparing. We have been taught, we've been brought up, that's been for trillions of years that we've been taught how to be as a human and how to be on this planet. And we probably have been programmed so much that it is so difficult for us to change it. It takes for an insult. I was reading somewhere that if you're insulted, it will stay in your brain for 20 years. But a compliment will not last more than 30 days. So even if I say, oh, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're amazing, and you have to keep doing that because do the math 20 years versus 30 days. So, and that's when we run bars to eliminate any kind of charge that is there stored in the brain, and that is probably not even from this lifetime. That insult, that humiliation, because our brain treats it as a fight flight mode. So it's just about you recognizing it and then asking it to change. And that you just have to be that invitation. When you're in oneness with yourself, you start choosing more. So oneness is basically communion with yourself, where you know, you're one with every molecule around you, where there is no difference between you and the space around you. That is what we're talking about oneness. So if you say I would like to be, so if I say I would like to be in oneness with you all, that's not possible. That's not the way it happens. Oneness is with myself. I'd like to be one with myself. Abusive relationship, that's a great one. So first recognize all the charge that you have for inviting people who are abusive. And what do you love about abusive relationship? Were you, when you were a kid, did you have that? And you, it's like a point of focal point that you've created that keeps re-inviting similar kind of people. And getting out of abusive relationship is just a choice. Because when you do access bars and body processes, that reduces and eliminates the trauma one has gone through, because the body has familiarity with that abuse and you just want to continue being in that energy because that's familiar. If people treat you, so kabhi dekha hai? I mean, have you ever seen mazdoor or someone who is from not such a great background? You try to treat them very well. You try to give them what they cannot receive. And they will be the first ones to leave your job and they're like, nahi, nahi, nahi. You treat them with the way, niche baitho. Huh? They will sit. They will crib, but they will sit because that is what they're used to. Someone who's treating them very nicely, they will be very flustered. They would not be able to take it. And I'm talking about India. Have you had those experiences that you've treated your maids very well and they still left you? Because they're not used to being treated that way. I've had my father who was quite a narcissistic person. And 20, 25 years, he had people sticking on. And he would abuse them day in and day out. And they still stayed on. And here, I'm being nice to them, sweet to them, humanitarian grounds, giving them everything, doing everything. Yeah, they would not stay in more than 3 years. So, recognize your need for abuse, and where are you being so abusive with yourself in a relationship? Ask that also as a question. That everywhere you would like to have something, but you would not let yourself have it. That's an abusive relationship. You That is only when you eliminate the need to have abusive people in your life is when you start attracting good loving relationships. It's about asking that where are you not being loving and nurturing to your own self? What does love and nurturance mean to you that you're waiting for that acknowledgement from someone else? When you be it for you, then the world starts being it for you. It's as simple as that. And we've yet to go on that journey where we start taking care of ourselves and, being with ourselves. So if equality was not about being same, maybe we could just celebrate gloriously, weirdly, wonderfully different, how different we are. So have you acknowledged what your difference is and your superpower is and change what the world has been asking for? No, if you haven't, it's time now. And what would it take? Right? So yes, how to attract good relationships would be ask for it first of all and be allowance of receiving it. अभी क्या होता है कि आपने मांगा कुछ, राइट? अभी कोई दूसरा प्रकार का प्राणी आता है आपके जीवन में एंड यू लाइक, नहीं नहीं ये नहीं पसंद मुझे, या बिकॉज वो वैसा नहीं है क्योंकि हमारी वायरिंग एंड प्रोग्रामिंग वैसे हो चुकी है दैट हम वी आर सो यूज्ड टू हैविंग दैट अब्यूजिव पैटर्न एंड समवन बीइंग सो नाइस एंड यू लाइक इसका कुछ मोटिव होगा, something is off. How can somebody be so nice to me? That. So get over that, clear it up with whatever healing sessions or whatever your requirement that you would like to do, could be your therapies, and then start asking for someone to show up. Because if you're kind and you're different, you're nurturing, how to have ease with people hating you for no reason? Perfectly fine. They would, because there is something. तुम में कुछ होना तो चाहिए नफरत के लिए, which means कुछ, you're different, you're amazing. That is why people are even judging you or hating you. And hate is a distracting plan. So everywhere you hate you, somewhere there's a deep down need for hatred. So where do you hate you? And clear those distractor implants of hatred. It might just start changing there. What do I love about people hating me? And poking for that, or I love it, or who does it belong to? When did I buy it as mine? When wherever you bought it is yours, which is not yours, let it all go.
I wanted to ask,
Hmm.
like,
Yes.
even after, clearing and everything, I somehow still like keep attracting,
Abuse?
like not abuse, but I don't know how to say it, like not good guys. I don't know, whatever. Like, how, I don't know
Yeah.
how, why.
Yeah. Okay. So what is your agenda with not having good guys? What is your secret agenda? Do you really want to get married? Because if the day you nail it and you have a good guy, then the family will say, Shadi kar lo.
Hmm.
And would you not? And if that is the case, so where have you decided that your astro charts are not too good, or you will only find people who are being unkind to you, and you can't have somebody who is good to you? So when
But
you give
I
up that
feel like
idea,
weird things happening. So I am ready, even if I find a good guy. I am ready to get married and whatever, everything, right? And weirdly, like everyone's like, "Abhi tere grah hai, tere grah अच्छे चल रहे," even for music career or whatever. And me personally, I don't feel anything good happening. Like no matter I do clearings and everything, and then
so when you
I
have a
release a
point of view,
song, something
yeah.
कुछ
So
गड़बड़, like छोटा गड़बड़
yes,
हो जाता है. I don't know what. And
so that
randomest गड़बड़ जो किसी के साथ मैं ना देखी हो, like randomly वो मेरे गाने का टाइटल कुछ और डाल देते हैं, which is nobody does that, and
yeah.
I don't know what.
Because see, when you have a point of view, your point of view creates your reality. Remember that always. Now it's become a very पक्का point of view that okay, मेरे साथ तो गड़बड़ ही होती है. Now that's a point of view. It's a conclusive point of view, right? Now anything is going to happen. That's going to be like a thought which is monitoring. Like अब भी होने वाली है, कुछ तो गड़बड़ होगी पक्का. I'm sure. Now
Yeah,
that is what the energy is going out.
but I
What if we?
clear that. Even then, like I don't
No,
know.
we don't. If it were clear, things would change, because the deep down we are aware that it's going to go wrong. Something is going to
Mm,
go wrong. So we haven't yet cleared it to that level that we're like, okay, I'm let's see, let's have fun with this, whatever's going to come up.
yeah,
Right? So
right.
universe, okay, bring it on. I'm willing to have it all. Now have no point of view about it, and then replace it again with curiosity. It's like, okay, what is it that I'm choosing? That it always changes into some kind of a mess up. And is it a mess up? Question is that. Is it really a mess up? Yeah, and what drama do you like around your work, your music, your the boyfriends that you keep getting, and all of that? What with all of this mess? What is it that you're trying to prove, that you're not good enough? What is it? Get to that and be brutally honest with yourself.
Okay.
So Poonam is saying we don't know how to value our feminism, because feminism was a movement that started sometime like a couple of a few centuries ago, and in the 70s I think. And they had ये शुरू क्यों किया था feminism? So that they can get half the population into tax bracket and get more taxes, and then they can have children who जो कि school जाएंगे, so that they can be doctrined and tutored and controlled. Feminism का मतलब ये है. And it's a movement that started. That is why you must read the book called The Lady, which you're not being ladylike. Become a lady. Stop fighting everything that is coming your way to prove that you're equally or better than a man, because you're not equal and you're different and I mean, if I say you're probably better, I'm also comparing a man and a woman. What if you didn't have to? You're like, wow, they're so amazing, they're so good at what they do. I'm so amazing at what I do. And then receive from them as well. Where are you making yourself lesser and trying to prove? When you have to prove, which means you're not good. You've already decided that you're not good. And you're not equal, dude. You can never be. You can't accomplish this task. In this reality, we talk about equality, but there is no such thing. Yeah, your femininity because you're trying to be a man. Masculine side is more appealing, so we are not being able to embrace our own femininity. What does being feminine mean to you? Oh, my mother was so weak, she couldn't stand for herself, and whatever your judgments of being feminine are. That Thank you, Alpa. Yeah, we're just wrapping up anyway. Thank you so much for being there. So, what are your judgments regarding femininity? And I'll let that go. Let that change. That that was lovely. And thank you for being more interactive than other calls today. This weekend we're having a 3-day body class in Delhi, and then we're having a lot of stuff coming up. And Diwali polls coming up, guys. This is gonna be fun because somebody really asked. They're like, their lives shifted with the polls. So on that request, we're coming up again around Diwali for Diwali polls. So won't be too many, so that you all can um, attend and bring about a change. Tell me which area is pinging in your world, and we could include that in the poll. So it was great having you guys. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.